The void of space, once a silent canvas of twinkling stars and cosmic dust, now roiled with an electric charge of impending destiny. In the years, a secret long kept by Earth was about to shatter the stagnant peace of the interstellar arena. Deep in the command center of the flagship Dreadnought Aurora's Resolve, Captain Alara Nova stood before a panoramic display of star maps and tactical overlays, her eyes reflecting both the brilliance of distant nebulae and the weight of past tragedies. The room buzzed with urgent energy as holographic schematics danced in midair, each representing a piece of the colossal fleet that had remained hidden in Earth's clandestine vault of technology. With each passing moment, the dormant engines of these titanic vessels stirred, powered by an ancient promise of resurgence. The crew, a blend of seasoned veterans and brilliant young tacticians, exchanged glances laden with anticipation and silent resolve. They were about to witness the rebirth of Earth's might, a force that would not only defend their homeworld, but also rewrite the rules of intergalactic warfare. Alara's voice, calm yet imbued with an unyielding determination, broke the tense silence. Today, we awaken not merely a fleet, but a legacy. Our ancestors forged these machines with sweat and sacrifice, and now, in our hour of need, they return to light the way. Her words resonated deeply within the metal walls of the command center, stirring memories of loss and hope alike. The images behind her, massive dreadnoughts gliding through the void like celestial leviathans, spoke of a power that had been concealed for decades, waiting for the precise moment to emerge. Outside the viewing window, the cosmos unfurled in a dramatic panorama. The remnants of ancient civilizations, their ruins scattered across dying planets and vibrant nebulae, bore silent testimony to the battles of yore. It was in this chaotic theater that Earth's dreadnoughts would soon mark their return, a resurgence not born of conquest alone, but of a desperate, noble stand against an ever-encroaching darkness. Within the hushed confines of the command center, tension and hope intermingled as officers whispered final checks and prepared for orders that would set the gears of destiny in motion. Captain Nova's mind, sharp and methodical, raced through battle plans and contingencies. Each maneuver was a calculated risk, a delicate dance of strategy and intuition honed by years of conflict and personal loss. The ghost of her family, lost in the ravages of early interstellar skirmishes, was ever present in her thoughts, a constant reminder of what was at stake. As the final seconds ticked away, the room erupted in a chorus of readiness. Lights dimmed, and the low hum of the dreadnought's engines swelled into a symphony of power. In that transcendent moment, with the universe bearing witness, Earth's forgotten warriors stirred to life, their awakened presence a clarion call to all who dared to challenge the order of the stars. Captain Nova stepped forward, her silhouette framed by the ethereal glow of the control panels. With a steady hand, she initiated the sequence that would launch them into the vastness of space, the fate of worlds suspended on the edge of a newfound hope. The chapter of awakening had begun, a bold prologue to the cosmic war that was destined to reshape the very fabric of the galaxy. Beneath the ceaseless hum of the command center and the relentless cadence of Earth's reawakened machines, Captain Alara Nova found herself drifting back to memories both haunting and defining. In the quiet moments between orders and tactical briefings, the darkness of space was replaced by the darker corridors of her past, a realm where every shadow held the echo of loss and every memory bore the weight of sacrifice. Alara remembered her childhood vividly, a life once filled with laughter, the gentle clamor of family dinners, and the warmth of a home on a vibrant Earth. Yet, as the cosmos began its inexorable march toward war, that light had been extinguished. The tragic skirmishes of early interstellar conflicts had torn her family apart, leaving her with an indelible scar and a burning determination. Each loss became a silent mentor, urging her to strive not merely for survival, but for a future where such heartbreak could be prevented. As a young cadet, she had spent long nights poring over ancient star charts and strategy manuals, seeking solace in the knowledge of battles fought and victories won. The archives of Earth's military legacy, filled with tales of valor and the heavy burden of command, became her sanctuary. It was in these moments of solitude that she understood the true nature of leadership, a delicate balance between strength and compassion, strategy and empathy. The flashbacks were as vivid as the stars that now spanned the command center's vast viewing window. She recalled her mentor, a grizzled veteran with eyes that had witnessed too many losses, who once told her, "The past is both a map and a warning, Alara. It guides you through darkness, but never forgets the price of light." Those words resonated deeply, intertwining with her own memories of sorrow and determination. They fueled her relentless pursuit of a future where Earth's newfound might would be tempered with wisdom, not unbridled aggression. In a quiet moment away from the immediacy of strategy meetings, Nova found herself alone in her private quarters, surrounded by relics of a bygone era. Photos of smiling faces, faded letters, and a small, intricate model of a dreadnought crafted by her late father. The room was a shrine to both memory and ambition. As she traced her fingers over the delicate model, she could almost feel her father's steady gaze, reminding her of the duties she carried, not just as a commander, but as a guardian of hope and legacy. The corridors of memory converged with the realities of the present. The valor and loss of those early conflicts were now interlaced with the rising tide of Earth's resurgence. The very machines that had been forged in secrecy, long dormant, were now symbols of both retribution and redemption. They were not merely instruments of war. They were embodiments of humanity's enduring will to rise from the ashes of despair. In that reflective solitude, Captain Nova resolved that the shadows of the past would not define her future. Instead, they would serve as a beacon, a reminder of every sacrifice made, every tear shed, and every heart that had dared to dream of a better tomorrow. With this resolve, she prepared herself for the tumultuous path ahead, where every decision would be a testament to the fragile interplay between memory and destiny. The past, with all its pain and beauty, was not a chain to bind her spirit but a wellspring of strength. And as the stars bore silent witness, Captain Nova knew that in the looming battle for the galaxy's soul, every shadow could ultimately be transformed into a spark of defiant light. Far from the illuminated command centers of Earth's dreadnoughts, on the war-scarred fringes of the galaxy, a different power stirred, a power forged in the crucible of ambition and ruthlessness. General Zorith Vex, the indomitable leader of the Xyrillian collective, surveyed his domain from the bridge of his flagship, Imperium's Edge. In a dimly lit war room aboard the vessel, vast arrays of holographic maps and strategic overlays revealed the intricate dance of fleets and territories under his control. Each flickering light and pulsating signal spoke of a relentless drive to reshape the galaxy according to his uncompromising vision. Zorith's eyes, as cold and calculating as the void beyond, betrayed nothing of the tumult that churned within. He had risen through the ranks of the Xyrillian collective not merely through brute force, but through a piercing intellect and a mastery of military art. Born into a society that prized unity and strength above all else, he was molded by the harsh realities of interstellar conquest. His early years were a relentless series of trials, battles, betrayals, and the incessant demand to prove one's worth in the unforgiving arena of cosmic warfare. Those experiences had forged him into a leader who viewed mercy as a luxury and weakness as a liability. In the muted light of his quarters, away from the prying eyes of his subordinates, General Vex allowed himself a rare moment of introspection. Memories of his mentor, a towering figure known for his strategic brilliance and iron will, flickered like embers in the recesses of his mind. That mentor had once declared, "The galaxy is a canvas for those bold enough to seize it." These words had become the cornerstone of Vex's philosophy, driving him to push past moral boundaries in pursuit of a singular, all-encompassing order. For him, the chaos of the current galactic state was an affront to the natural order, a disorder that only his vision could rectify. The Xyrillian collective, under his iron-fisted rule, was a formidable force. It was a confederation of warlike species, bound by a shared belief in destiny and control. Their culture, steeped in ancient rituals and martial honor, celebrated strength as the highest virtue. Yet beneath this veneer of tradition lay a merciless hunger for power. Vex's strategic acumen ensured that his campaigns were executed with surgical precision, swift, decisive, and unforgiving. His forces, sleek and formidable, had already carved a path of conquest through star systems, leaving a trail of subjugation and order in their wake. In a war council held aboard Imperium's Edge, General Vex addressed his lieutenants with a voice that resonated with unyielding authority. "We stand at the threshold of a new era," he proclaimed, his tone both inspiring and chilling. "Earth dares to awaken its relics, but they are but sparks against the inferno of our destiny. We will not be outmaneuvered or outmatched. Our duty is to bring unity to this fractured galaxy, a unity that demands strength, discipline, and, if necessary, sacrifice." As his officers absorbed his words, the general's mind raced through countless scenarios, each battle a step toward his envisioned future. His calculations were as intricate as the network of star systems under his command, and each maneuver was designed to outflank and overwhelm any opposition. Yet, for all his cold strategic brilliance, there was a personal element to his crusade, a deep-seated conviction that his vision was the only path to a lasting peace, even if that peace came at the cost of countless lives. Outside the confines of his flagship, dark clouds of interstellar dust and the shimmering glow of distant suns bore silent witness to the rise of the Xyrillian menace. As fleets mobilized and the cosmic battlefield prepared to ignite into conflict, General Zorith Vex remained the unwavering pivot around which his collective's ambitions revolved. In that vast, uncharted expanse, where every star could herald a new beginning or a final end, his eyes remained fixed on the horizon, on a future that he alone was destined to create. Thus, as the galaxy edged ever closer to war, the presence of General Vex loomed like a shadow, inevitable and inescapable, a harbinger of a new order, as formidable and relentless as the night itself. In the corridors of power scattered throughout the galaxy, a storm was quietly gathering, one that would threaten to engulf both allies and adversaries alike. Far from the star-splattered battlefields where dreadnoughts clashed and fleets surged, a subtler, more insidious conflict was unfolding, the intricate dance of interstellar diplomacy. On a sprawling, crystalline space station orbiting the neutral world of Lyrades, emissaries from countless civilizations converged in a grand hall that shimmered with ambient light and the weight of ancient traditions. Here, representatives from Earth's emerging coalition, the Xyrillian Collective, and several enigmatic alien races gathered in a fragile attempt to broker a balance in a galaxy teetering on the brink of war. Captain Alara Nova, having been summoned as Earth's principal negotiator, walked through the chamber with a measured calm that belied the tumult raging in her mind. Clad in a uniform that bore the scars of previous conflicts, she exuded a determined authority. Yet behind her steely gaze lay an inner turmoil, a reminder of the sacrifices that had forged her resolve. At a long, polished table carved from a rare, luminescent mineral, discussions had already ignited. Delegates exchanged sharp words and cautious glances, their languages a symphony of clicks, tones, and gestures that spoke to millennia of tradition and conflict. Nova's counterpart from the Xyrillian Collective, Ambassador Clisser, was a figure as enigmatic as the shifting nebulae outside the station's panoramic windows. His voice, resonant and measured, broke the tense silence. "Captain Nova," Clisser intoned, "the awakening of your dreadnoughts has not gone unnoticed. You must understand that in our realm, power is both a promise and a threat. What do you propose, now that Earth's might has stirred the ancient balance?" Nova's reply was both diplomatic and firm. "Ambassador Clisser, Earth's resurgence is not an act of aggression. It is a response to the chaos that has long plagued this galaxy. Our actions are guided by a desire to restore order, not to dominate. We seek a future where every civilization, regardless of its heritage, can thrive in unity." Her words hung in the charged air, met by murmurs of cautious approval from some and skeptical frowns from others. Across the table, a representative of the enigmatic Thalori species, a slender being with eyes like liquid silver, leaned forward and posed a pointed question. "And what of the Xyrillian Collective's ambition to unify the galaxy under your General Vex iron rule? Is that unity or subjugation?" A ripple of tension surged through the hall as whispers broke out among the assembled delegates. Nova met the Thalary's gaze directly. "Unity born of fear is not unity at all," she stated. "We must craft a balance where power is tempered by accountability, a future where strength is used to protect, not to oppress." The debate grew more impassioned as diplomatic fires were stoked on both sides. Multiple dialogues ensued in hushed, urgent tones as alliances shifted like cosmic dust. In private alcoves, Nova conferred with trusted officers, her voice barely audible over the soft hum of the station's energy fields. "Every word we speak tonight carries the weight of billions," she reminded them, "and a single misstep could ignite a conflict that consumes us all." As negotiations continued, tension built with the subtlety of a slowly wound coil. The Grand Hall became a microcosm of the galaxy itself, a tapestry of aspirations, ancient grudges, and the perennial hope for peace amid chaos. Each delegate, whether driven by ideology, survival, or ambition, was a spark waiting to kindle the next blaze of interstellar conflict. Yet amidst the clamor and conflict of competing agendas, a fragile understanding began to take shape. Nova's unwavering insistence on the principles of fairness and mutual respect sowed seeds of doubt among those who had long believed that dominance was the only path to order. In hushed, side conversations, tentative plans were whispered, plans that might one day defy the brutal doctrines of conquest and replace them with a new framework of collective security. By the end of the session, as delegates reluctantly adjourned with promises of further talks, the air was thick with both the embers of discord and the first fragile hints of hope. Captain Nova lingered in the now silent hall, her eyes tracing the intricate carvings on the table, a testament to the many civilizations that had come before. In that quiet moment, she vowed that the fires of diplomacy would not be allowed to burn unchecked, for the galaxy's fate rested on the strength of its convictions as much as on the might of its armies. The seeds of a tentative peace had been planted in the heart of conflict, and as the space station receded into the cosmic distance, the interstellar stage was set for a war that would test not only the mettle of armies, but the very soul of every sentient being across the stars. The cosmos ignited with the chaos of battle as Earth's dreadnoughts, freshly awakened from decades of dormancy, surged into the depths of space. Amid a tumultuous nebula of interstellar debris and shimmering radiation, fleets clashed like titanic waves on a cosmic shore. Captain Alara Nova, aboard the flagship Aurora's Resolve, surveyed the unfolding skirmish from a command center bathed in the cool glow of holographic tactical displays. The void was alive with the crackle of energy weapons and the deep rumble of engines thrust into hyperdrive. In the midst of this stellar maelstrom, Nova's strategic brilliance shone. She issued orders with a calm urgency that belied the storm raging outside. "Alpha Squadron, flank the enemy's left. Beta Squadron, hold position and cover the rear," she commanded, her voice slicing through the static of communication channels. Every word was a calculated directive in a ballet of precision and survival. As the dreadnoughts roared forward, their colossal silhouettes momentarily blotted out the stars. The enemy fleet, commanded by the relentless forces of General Zorith Vex, responded with equal ferocity. Plasma bolts and ion blasts crisscrossed the darkness, tracing ephemeral arcs of brilliance against the inky void. In the heat of the conflict, Nova's mind worked in overdrive, each tactical adjustment a step in a deadly dance where one miscalculation could shatter the fragile line between victory and annihilation. In the command center, her officers exchanged rapid reports and urgent data flashes. Lieutenant Mara, a sharp-witted tactician with an eye for subterfuge, pointed out a critical vulnerability in the enemy formation. "Captain, the enemy's shield generators are overloaded on the starboard flank. If we press hard now, we could break their formation," she suggested, voice trembling with a mix of adrenaline and anticipation. Nova nodded, her gaze unwavering as she integrated Mara's insights with her own analysis. "Initiate the diversion protocol on my mark. Let's turn their strength into their undoing," she ordered. The ensuing moments were a blur of coordinated maneuvers. Dreadnoughts pivoted with almost liquid grace, missiles streaked across the battlefield, and explosions rippled outwards like shockwaves in the void. Between bursts of raw, unbridled action, quiet moments of introspection punctuated the relentless pace. In a fleeting lull, as Nova reviewed the tactical overlays on her visor, she allowed herself a brief, almost imperceptible breath. Amid the din of battle and the incandescent glow of conflict, her thoughts drifted to the faces of those she fought to protect. The memory of her lost family mingled with the resolute hope that every sacrifice could forge a path to a more just future. Each strategic decision, no matter how minute, carried the weight of those dreams and the burden of countless lives hanging in the balance. The enemy's counteroffensive grew fiercer as they adapted to Earth's unexpected resurgence. A barrage of energy shells bombarded the lead dreadnought, its armor groaning under the relentless impact. But Nova's leadership proved unyielding. Her crew, battle-hardened and resolute, rallied with a spirit that defied the darkness. "Reinforce shields on Sector 3. All units, maintain formation," she roared, her voice a beacon amid the chaos. The collective effort of her officers, each an expert in their own right, transformed the command center into a well-oiled machine of strategic precision. Through a series of rapid-fire exchanges and tactical recalibrations, Earth's fleet began to gain the upper hand. The enemy formation, once a seamless wall of aggression, started to splinter under the relentless, adaptive maneuvers orchestrated by Nova. The once calm corridors of space erupted into a symphony of light and sound, a testament to the unyielding drive of a people who refused to be relegated to the annals of history. As the skirmish raged on, the interplay of tactics and intuition, of technology and human resolve, became the defining cadence of the conflict. The void, once a silent witness to the universe's secrets, now served as the stage for an epic confrontation, one where every spark, every pulse of light, carried the promise of liberation or the threat of obliteration. In that pulsating, perilous moment, Captain Alara Nova's vision of a united future, tempered by the scars of the past and the valor of the present, stood as a defiant challenge against the encroaching darkness. The battle in the void was far from over, but as Earth's dreadnoughts danced their deadly ballet among the stars, hope, like a fragile ember, began to glow amidst the chaos. In the midst of cosmic warfare, where starfire and plasma converged in an explosive symphony, the inevitable confrontation between two titanic wills began to take shape. Captain Alara Nova's dreadnought fleet and General Zorith Vex's armada had maneuvered through the void with precision, each side pushing the limits of strategy and resolve. Now, in the heart of an unstable nebula where shifting energies rendered navigation both treacherous and surreal, destiny called the two commanders to face each other directly. A colossal, abandoned space station, its once majestic halls now echoing with the ghosts of forgotten glory, served as the battleground for this monumental meeting. Amid jagged corridors and dim, flickering lights, the two leaders finally came within earshot of each other. The station's vast, silent chamber, scarred by the impact of ancient wars, bore witness to a showdown that transcended mere physical combat. Captain Nova entered the chamber with a calm that belied the adrenaline surging through her veins. Every step she took resonated with the weight of past losses and the hopes of countless souls. Across from her, General Vex stood shrouded in an aura of steely resolve and calculated menace. The air between them was charged, as if the very atoms anticipated the clash of their convictions. Without the layers of intermediaries or the bureaucratic veil of war councils, their dialogue became a battlefield of ideals. Nova's voice, steady yet imbued with quiet determination, broke the silence. "General Vex, your vision of order through dominion cannot coexist with the hope of a free galaxy. True unity is forged in understanding and respect, not by crushing the individual spirit beneath the heel of power." Her words carried the passion of a leader who had witnessed too much pain and was unwilling to let history repeat its dark chapters. Vex's response was measured and cold, each syllable an articulation of his unyielding doctrine. "Captain Nova, you cling to ideals that have weakened civilizations for millennia. The galaxy is riddled with chaos. Only through absolute control can we bring the stability necessary for progress. Your Earth, with all its newfound might, is but a fleeting spark, I am here to ensure that Spark becomes a guiding light under a singular, unyielding order. His tone was unrelenting, a testament to the meticulous planning that had brought his forces to this very confrontation. Their words interwove with memories of battle and the scars of conflict. As they circled one another, every exchange revealed the depths of their convictions. Nova's belief in the sanctity of life and the potential for redemption, counterposed by Vex's rigid adherence to power as the sole path to lasting peace. The chamber, silent but for the echoes of their debate, became a microcosm of the galactic struggle, a confrontation between the raw, unpredictable pulse of human emotion and the calculated, inexorable force of military ambition. Outside, the distant clamor of battle served as a constant reminder of the stakes at hand. The sound of exploding debris and the intermittent crackle of energy weapons punctuated their confrontation, each burst a reminder of the lives hanging in the balance. Within that timeless moment, neither leader sought a retreat or truce, only a decisive assertion of their vision for the galaxy's future. As the verbal duel escalated, so too did the intensity of their mutual gaze. Captain Nova recalled the faces of her fallen comrades and the dreams of countless beings yearning for freedom, while General Vex envisioned a universe remade in the image of order and control. In that stark, fateful chamber, it became clear that their battle was not one of mere tactics or technology. It was the collision of two irreconcilable worlds. With a final exchange of resolute stares, the ideological chasm between them widened into an unbridgeable gulf. Their parting words, though not the last spoken, signified a turning point in the galactic war. The march of destiny could no longer be halted by mere negotiations. The clash of ideals had set the stage for the next act in the cosmic saga, a battle that would determine whether the universe would be liberated by the fire of rebellion or subdued by the iron fist of tyranny. In that charged silence, as the echoes of their confrontation faded into the recesses of the ancient station, both commanders knew that the impending conflict would redefine not only their own fates but the destiny of an entire galaxy. In the wake of the monumental clash, the cosmic battlefield was left scarred and silent, a solemn canvas painted with the remnants of fury and shattered ideals. As the echoes of the battle dwindled, the once roiling nebula now appeared to mourn the cost of conflict. Among the scattered debris of shattered ships and drifting remnants of energy, Captain Alara Nova found herself navigating a landscape where victory was tempered by the heavy toll of sacrifice. Aboard the flagship Aurora's Resolve, the command center was transformed from a hub of relentless activity to a chamber of somber reflection. The air was thick with the weight of what had transpired, a stark reminder that even the mightiest of endeavors was marred by the losses of both friend and foe. Officers who had fought with unwavering loyalty now wore expressions etched with grief, their eyes reflecting the silent screams of fallen comrades. In every reported casualty and every flickering hologram of a lost vessel, the human cost of interstellar war was starkly revealed. Captain Nova, standing by the expansive viewport, watched as the wreckage of enemy ships drifted slowly among the stars, a ghostly parade of once formidable adversaries. Her thoughts churned with the faces of those who had given everything in the pursuit of an ideal. She recalled the determination in Lieutenant Mara's eyes during the frenzied battle, the resolute unity that had bound her crew together even in the direst moments. Now, as the silence settled in, each memory carried both a tender warmth and a bitter sting of regret. In the hushed corridors of the Aurora's Resolve, quiet conversations began to emerge. Groups of officers gathered in clusters, their whispers filled with a mixture of relief, sorrow, and cautious hope. "We did what we had to," one veteran murmured, his voice laden with a resignation born of experience. Yet beneath the surface of acceptance, a lingering question remained. Could the price of victory ever justify the scars it left behind? In a private chamber away from the communal grief, Captain Nova met with her closest advisors. The room was dimly lit, the only light emanating from the gentle pulse of data streams and the soft glimmer of distant stars visible through a narrow viewport. "We stand at a crossroads," Nova began, her tone reflective yet resolute. "Our victory today is not a celebration. It is a call to acknowledge the pain of our past and the uncertainty of our future. Every life lost weighs upon us, and every decision henceforth must honor that sacrifice. Her words resonated deeply, stirring an unspoken commitment among those present to forge a path that might yet lead to redemption. In the aftermath of the battle, the ideological chasm that had divided the galaxy seemed momentarily bridged by a shared sense of loss and the mutual desire to prevent further devastation. Even as the specter of General Vex's relentless ambition loomed in the background, a flicker of resolve began to kindle within the hearts of Earth's defenders. Outside, the cosmic silence was a vast, indifferent witness to the fragility of existence. The remnants of battle formations slowly coalesced into a ghostly reminder of conflict, a mosaic of light and dark that told the story of ambition, defiance, and the inescapable cost of war. In this quiet interlude, the galaxy itself seemed to exhale, as if releasing a breath held in anticipation of what was yet to come. For Captain Nova, the aftermath was not an end, but the somber prelude to a new chapter, a time for healing, reflection, and the difficult choices that would shape the future of interstellar unity. As she gazed out into the boundless night, Nova silently vowed that the lessons of this bitter victory would guide her onward. Every scar, every fallen soul, would serve as a beacon steering them away from repeating the grievous mistakes of the past. In that profound stillness, amidst the ruins of conflict and the quiet murmur of hope, the seeds of transformation were sown, a testament to the enduring human spirit and its unwavering quest for a brighter, if uncertain, tomorrow. The horizon of conflict slowly gave way to a new dawn as the shattered remnants of war began to coalesce into whispers of renewal. In the silent aftermath of the colossal battles, the galaxy found itself at a crossroads, a liminal space where grief and hope intertwined, offering the promise of transformation amid lingering scars. Aboard the Aurora's Resolve, the once bustling command center now radiated a different energy, one of cautious optimism and quiet determination. Captain Alara Nova stood before a vast viewport that framed the cosmic tapestry of swirling nebulae and distant stars. The wreckage of interstellar warfare lay scattered like fragments of broken dreams, yet in that disarray, there were sparks of potential rebirth. It was as if the galaxy, scarred by battle, had begun to exhale, releasing the collective burden of loss while embracing the tender promise of tomorrow. In the days that followed the devastating confrontations, Nova initiated a series of conciliatory measures aimed at healing the deep divides that had threatened to rend the galaxy apart. With her trusted officers and a select group of diplomats gathered in a high-ceilinged assembly hall aboard the flagship, she laid out a visionary plan for interstellar unity. "We have seen the cost of unchecked ambition," she spoke, her voice firm yet filled with empathy. "It is now our duty to rebuild, not through domination, but through understanding. Every nation, every species, deserves a place in a future forged from our shared sorrows and our collective hopes." Across the galaxy, tentative signals of goodwill began to emerge. In diplomatic enclaves on neutral planets and sprawling space stations, representatives of formerly warring factions met in quiet parliaments and roundtable discussions. The echoes of past conflicts, though still palpable, were gradually giving way to a cautious dialogue, a dialogue in which old adversaries recognized that their survival depended on mutual respect and collaboration. General Zorith Vex, ever the embodiment of unyielding order, had retreated into the shadows of his shattered fleet. His vision of absolute control had faltered in the face of the profound losses his relentless campaigns had wrought. In isolated quarters aboard his flagship, the embers of his conviction smoldered, tinged now with a reluctant recognition that even the most rigorous regime could not suppress the innate yearning for freedom and unity. Meanwhile, Captain Nova ventured beyond the confines of military strategy, engaging directly with communities and leaders from across the galaxy. She traveled aboard smaller vessels to worlds once ravaged by conflict, listening to the stories of survival, resilience, and a deep-seated desire for peace. In one poignant encounter on a floating city above a crystalline ocean planet, she met a group of survivors whose lives had been upturned by the ceaseless violence. Their quiet determination in the face of unimaginable loss reaffirmed her belief that unity was not an abstract ideal, but a tangible, achievable goal. In a climactic assembly convened on the neutral world of Lurades, leaders of disparate species came together beneath a canopy of stars. Amid shared meals and heartfelt discourses, a fragile but genuine accord began to take shape. The discussions were punctuated by moments of raw emotion, tears shed over old wounds and smiles kindled by the prospect of a harmonious future. It was in these moments that the true essence of unity revealed itself, not as a forced amalgamation of power, but as a tapestry woven from the diverse threads of hope, resilience, and mutual respect. As the final session drew to a close, Captain Nova, standing before the assembly one last time, felt the profound weight of history gently lift. The galaxy was far from healed, and the road ahead would be fraught with challenges. Yet, in that luminous chamber filled with voices of every hue, a single truth had emerged: the possibility of forging a future where peace was not the absence of conflict, but the presence of understanding. Nova's final words resonated like a beacon amid the lingering echoes of war. Let us honor the sacrifices of those we have lost by building a universe where every voice matters and every heart beats in unison for a brighter tomorrow. Her declaration, imbued with both solemnity and hope, marked the beginning of a new era, a delicate, uncertain peace that promised redemption from the ashes of devastation. And as the assembly dispersed beneath the endless canopy of the cosmos, the silent whispers of unity carried across the stars, a timeless reminder that even in the deepest darkness, hope can emerge as the guiding light toward a united future.